Ethereum has rallied to almost $3,000 with $4,000 potentially in the cards in the near future. Should you be in Ethereum or Bitcoin over the next 3 months? We're going to have that conversation. Should be an interesting one. Also, big news for Filecoin and Solana as they join hand in hand to move forward the decentralized storage narrative forward. We also have some news regarding Ripple and their lawsuit. We're going to talk about Coinbase dropping Bitcoin payments. Is that a testament to what Bitcoin is and is not? We're going to look at some charts, and we're going to talk about crypto and much, much more on today's episode of City Crypto. Let's get it.
Hola! It's your boy Big Rob back in the house. Welcome to Sin City Crypto. If it's your first time checking us out, we're the entertainment-focused cryptocurrency channel. We take old, boring, stale information, repackage that thing up in a fun and sexy way. And then
Purple Rob is back.
Purple Rob is back.
Listen, is that like a better, the Hulk gets mad, he turns green? Rob gets mad, he turns purple. He was very mad before we started the show today. We talk about, hey man, Bitcoin or ETH? What is the better project to have exposure to going into the next 3 months, going into the halving, right? So we have some narratives on ETH. We have some narratives on Bitcoin. Before we get started, if you're new here, say hello. We love to personally welcome you. And then, so let's just start right here. This is from decrypt.co. Ethereum up 28% this month as the Denkun upgrade nears. Scaling networks surge. If you're not familiar, the Denkun upgrade, this is EIP 4844, is going to make, essentially introduces proto-dank sharding. So certain information won't have to be stored on the Ethereum mainnet. It could be stored on pretty much on the side. And so what does that do? That frees up space, which brings the transaction volume or the transaction fees down for the L2s, which you would assume they would that gets passed down onto the end user, which is you. So if you're using any ETH layer 2 like Polygon, you should, once this upgrade is live on the mainnet, which I believe the day was around March, I want to say March 10th or 13th. That was the day they put out for the mainnet. It is currently in the last phase of the testnet. So pretty exciting things happening on Ethereum. This is a beat that Robin's been drumming for quite a long time. And then we have this 4,728 Ethereum tokens burnt, which is approximately $13 million. Take a look at open interest on Ethereum. Take a look at the last 24 hours, up 7.27%, with Binance leading the way at around 1.2 million ETH in open interest, up 7.27%. Take a look at the CME, which kind of gives us an idea of how does TradFi feel about Ethereum. They're up around 4% over the last 24 hours. And then derivatives trading platform BingX also up 10% as well. Then we have the weekly flows of crypto. You can see here, we went parabolic last week, right? $2.5 billion. So $2.42 billion in Bitcoin, and ETH coming in number 2, the second highest, with over 21 million in inflows from institutions. And then lastly, I'll stop there. Robin.
Hey, Bassa.
What's up, man?
Oh, just chilling, looking at this Bitcoin chart.
Well, we're not talking about
Ethereum chart.
I was going to say, we're not talking about Bitcoin.
I know. But man, no, I've been staring at this ETH thing all day. And you know why? Because I've been beating that drum, bro. We are burning ETH. It's been the most ETH burned since 2021. You know what happened in 2021?
Mm-hmm.
It was called a bull market. Research. And so, at that time when it was when that much was burned, we had, or excuse me, when we had that the 2021 Ethereum with open interest, it's been quite some time since we had open interest that high. And then you add the burning mechanism as well. It's shaping up, man. It's shaping up for Big Rob to be right. Rob Stradamus is coming around. And you know what? Did we hit $3,000 Ethereum on any of the exchanges? I'm just curious.
I don't think so.
And we got 29. Coin market cap gives 29.5 on the price of ETH. So I'm just curious. I don't know. And you can see here when you look at the peaks, you had $2,950. So it might have hit 3,000 on some of the exchanges, but just pretty bullish on the ETH narrative. I will say that even if you're not a strong ETH believer on this cycle, which I don't know why you wouldn't be, but if you're not, at least recognize the fact that if Ethereum rallies hard, Ethereum's up 4% on the 4% on the day. And then if you look at where it's at right now for the week, let's see here, up 11%. So in the same way that we look at the ecosystem for Bitcoin when it rallies, a lot of the other projects by proxy, layer twos, scaling, side chains, they all tend to bump as well. And so for me, look at the Ethereum ecosystem because ETH is rallying. And so if you go to what's up on the last 7 days, you have we have a
No ETH ecosystem.
no ETH. But no, that's what I'm saying is that right now for me, that's the way I like to look at it. If I see that Bitcoin's up to 5% and Stacks is not up, then I know I'm like it's a great opportunity to get exposure to Stacks. So what I'm telling you here is that more than likely the ETH ecosystem projects will be rallying as well if the price of ETH goes up. Because everyone that's making money in ETH, as far as the base token, those are people that have exposure to the ecosystem, and if they're making money off of ETH, they're gonna diversify their profits and roll those down into smaller projects. Now, what's your biggest ETH play outside of ETH? Don't say classic.
Like ecosystem?
Yeah,
Me personally?
yeah.
Like my portfolio? Or
I mean,
just
okay. You could say Polygon. It's more of a side chain, right? I mean, it's not a scaling solution. So, I don't know what the definition you would consider Polygon, but it's security.
Polygon is Ethereum ecosystem.
It is. I just don't know exactly where to fit it in. 'Cause it's not a scaling solution for Ethereum. It's more of an alternative that
Kind of is. It's
yeah.
both, right? Got its own
It's an
mainnet.
option. It's an option for the ETH developer, right? If you're an ETH developer and you want something that's a little bit more scalable, faster throughput, cheaper, more transactions, Polygon makes sense. However, Ethereum is not dependent on Polygon, right? It just takes some of the load off of the system. Now, some scaling solutions for Ethereum, that might be something to take a look at. We have is Injective Pro? I mean, you have Optimism, obviously.
Arbitrum.
Optimism, scaling solutions. But you have Injective Protocol is down 5.
Injective is Cosmos.
Yeah.
Here. So categories. There's also a new narrative for ETH as well. It's the ERC 404, the hybrid token.
Yeah.
I don't know. You have
That's
you
where
know,
we talked about that one last week as well. So the ETH 404 is where you can do partial sales on NFTs. I know that was one use case and utility we were talking about with that one as well.
Here you go. Here's
You
your
can like fractionalize an NFT sale.
here's your Ethereum ecosystem here.
Okay.
So Loopring, right?
How's Loopring doing? 14% on the week. That used to be one of my favorite plays there. Loopring outside the top 150. I mean, honestly, I think that's way undervalued. It is up 13% on the week. And I know a lot of these are just simply ERC20s, so they don't really have the association. Like Shiba Inu, like is that an ETH play? I mean, the token itself, yes. Die. Something to think about, guys and gals. The ETH ecosystem might rally, right? All right, that's my thesis to this, is that Ethereum's up 11% right now. You have an ETF, potential ETF listing coming up in May. We have just the influx of liquidity coming into the crypto markets because of the halving coming up and
And look at
the
this
crypto
TVL.
cycles
Look at this TVL.
on ETH.
$45 billion. Right? I mean,
Yeah, there's
it's
the
starting to go
staking.
parabolic here, right? I mean, you can zoom in on the
Okay.
charter.
Also, here's one thing. Last bull market cycle, do not forget, last bull market cycle, we did not have proof of stake, right? And so during 2021, when everyone was going ETH crazy, ETH was at over $4,000. It was a proof of work token. And so now when we look at total value locked, a lot of this is cause and effect from staking, right? And what does this mean for the ecosystem? Well, first of all, there's less tokens to sell. Incentivizes people to have a long-term mindset, as you're less likely to sell your ETH, even if it's liquid staking. You have less likely to sell your ETH if you're staking it. You probably believe in the ecosystem.
I mean, look, you have so obviously the number one protocol as far as TVL on ETH is Lido at 28.8. What do they do? Liquid staking. Look at number 3. This is a new one. So this is so I covered this restaking in our near video we did last week. But Eigenlayer is a big one, restaking. So essentially staking the same ETH in multiple places and essentially double dipping on the rewards. That's a big narrative. That's got over $7.5 billion in TVL. And so to Rob's point, going to proof of stake and unlocks new liquidity. And then also don't forget, now there's no sell pressure from miners, right? Miners don't have that sell pressure to be able to pay their bills and their overhead for electricity, for their equipment, for mining. And so now that's gone. You have a deflationary mechanism in place, but the ETH token keep printing. But once we get to that high demand side and supply stays the same, that linear curve stays the same on the ETH supply entering the market, I mean, you don't have to be a macroeconomic analyst to figure that one out. I do have ETH versus Bitcoin of the 3-day here. So important level we just breached. So ETH has been in a downtrend against Bitcoin since essentially September of 2022. But important flippening is happening here, right? We did break above, right? This trend line. We came back, broke below it, kind of teetered alongside it. And now we are breaking above it again. This candle does close in about a day and 5 hours. Obviously, for this to flip, we do want to see this trend line hold as support in the future, unlike it did back in mid-January. And so my question to you is this. Over the next 3 months, okay, are you better off holding Bitcoin or Ethereum?
ETH, bro.
Over the next 3 months.
3 months literally lines up with the
Bitcoin
potential ETF listing. It's May. Let me take a look here.
Let me ask you this question. Do you think the flows for the Bitcoin ETF are going to more or less stay around 300 to 500 million a day? Net flow.
Hold on. So on the net flow is how much?
You think it'll stay between 300 to 500 million a day for the Bitcoin ETFs? Also keep in mind, right? Yeah. Keep in mind the grayscale selling should subside. Okay, so you think yes. Think 300 to 500 million will be steady for the next 3 months. What do we have in 2 months, Robin? We're having, right? So the sell pressure for the miners is going to get cut in half. So how can you sit here and say?
I don't disagree with any of that.
Okay, so then how are you going to say Ethereum is better?
I look at everything you just said will make the price of Bitcoin go up, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And what has happened every time there's a cycle and the price of Bitcoin goes up? Alts outperform Bitcoin. I just simply look at his.
So you think that money flow? You think that money flow pattern is gonna start trending away? From Bitcoin in 3 months?
If you think that this time is different, and you think we're gonna go into
it's not about this time being different.
It's
about time frame. This is all about time frame. 3 months. 3 months. So March, April, May.
Okay, in a 3-month time window,
That's the question.
I would say I am leaning more towards Ethereum. I don't have mass. No, honestly. Here's the thing. I don't know. Could Bitcoin outperform Ethereum in 3 months? Sure. If you ask my opinion, I think Ethereum will outperform Bitcoin. I don't think it's going to be anything massive or crazy, not in 3 months. But going forward, looking past the 3-month window, and I'm looking into the next bull market, you're gonna get bigger returns from Ethereum. The same way that we had bigger returns last bull market, and we had bigger returns in the bull market before. And that's just history speaking to me. Ethereum has a smaller market cap. And even the argument that you make, hey, look how much money's coming in on the Bitcoin ETF. You can make the same argument. Look how much money is going to come in to the Ethereum ETF. One thing, here's a difference here, David. One, Bitcoin, even though you have the halving, you're still producing and inflating Bitcoin, right? From where it is at this exact moment, every day, there's 900 Bitcoin being mined. After having, it'll be 450 Bitcoin being mined. Every day, going into an Ethereum ecosystem that is thriving, you're burning. So you're actually going negative. So on one direction, you have Bitcoin creating Bitcoin every day. And then on another, we have Ethereum burning every day. And then you have an ETF for one, you have an ETF for another. You have historical data that says Bitcoin's price rallies in a bull market, alts rally harder. And so for me, and here's the thing. Even if you're correct, David, let's just say that you're 100% spot on.
I am.
Bitcoin outperforms ETH. Let's just say, hey, the winner of this discussion, Bitcoin outperforms ETH, right? And let's just say even in the bull market, let's say Bitcoin gets to $250,000 and Ethereum never crosses 10, right? Or let's just say
that's right.
It's not as okay. So we get a 3x from
Get a 5x from Bitcoin
and a 3x from ETH.
Sure.
Okay. That for me, I think is it's possible, but I think it's not very likely, right? What I think is more likely is that we get a continuation or a copy of in the past. And what we'll have is Bitcoin rallies, alts rally harder, ETH breaks some all-time highs and just doesn't slow down. And for me, I can even in your situation, my ETH play is going to play out, right? I buy ETH now at 2,000 something, cash out at 10 grand.
I'm not arguing that in the bull market, right? At the end, ETH will have potentially outperformed Bitcoin. I mean, that's not what I'm arguing. I'm saying with everything that we have now going into May, what would you rather hold? And you're saying you'd rather hold Ethereum. I'm saying I'd rather hold Bitcoin. I'd rather hold both, to be honest with you. Do I think ETH can outperform Bitcoin when it's all said and done? Absolutely. Will alts do it? Yes. But we're talking about a specific time frame, right? 3 months. With everything going on with Bitcoin, even you said 300 to 500 million net flow over the next 3 months per day. The answer is yes. Great. Do the math. Grayscale's already sold off over 30% of their Bitcoin. When is that going to slow down? It is already slowing down. It's ticked up a little bit over the last few days. But overall, it's starting to come down, right? We've had back-to-back record-breaking days, 10 days ago for the Bitcoin ETF. We're going to continue to see more financial advisors, more companies hop on board. You have companies like Vanguard and Merrill Lynch who are not allowing access to an ETF. But trust me when I say this, that will start to reverse, right? People will start demanding, we want access to this product because of what we talked about last week when you're sitting around your circle of friends or these financial advisors sitting down talking to each other saying, hey, we got 2x on our portfolio in the last 4 months. And then the questions start coming and then, retail starts piling in and then all the narratives start getting driven forward. So for me, that plus the halving, plus what we're going to see with the Bitcoin ecosystem and stacks and BRC20 and ordinals, I think it's a no-brainer in the time period, 3 months. What do you guys think? 3 months, who will perform better over the next 3 months? ETH or Bitcoin? If you're a member of this channel, use your emojis. If you're not, put a 1 for Bitcoin, put a 2 for Ethereum. I want to give a big shout out to our channel sponsor, Cam's Blue Wire Technology. You want to learn how they can help your business scale and grow and maximize your networking, IT, and cybersecurity? There's one company we believe you should call, and that is Cam's Blue Wire Technology. Visit bluewiretech.com. Click the link in the description of this video. Now, let's talk about this. Talk about BTC. Bitcoin's return to all-time high before halving is impossible. This is from the Cryptopolitan. And here's pretty much their entire thesis. Achieving a $70,000 valuation requires a $350 billion increase in market cap, a feat unlikely under current economic conditions. What economic conditions? Interesting. I don't know. Have you changed on your stance here? Right, new all-time high before the halving. You still think that's more probable than that?
Yeah, I'm so bullish on crypto right now. Like I just, it's fuming out of every pore. Like, and maybe it doesn't rally quite as hard as we think it is, and maybe in the next 3 months, like you said. But I think it will. And even if it doesn't, it's still just delayed by a few months. Because I have no doubt it's going to cross all-time highs by, I would say, November. I mean, what do you think? Likelihood of Bitcoin crossing all-time highs by November?
November?
Yeah.
Bro.
I'm just saying, what's your likelihood if you had to throw a percentage on it?
100%.
You can't say 100%.
99%.
You think 99%?
By November?
Okay.
Yeah.
So anyways, it just goes to show you that
we're less than 20K away. We're like 16K away from new all-time highs.
I'm very similar. I would say 85%. I don't know. There could be some kind of financial. I don't know. Could be something in the cards that we haven't seen. Maybe.
So you're kind of buying into this narrative of
no.
Financial economic conditions.
Did you not hear anything of that? 85% likelihood that we break all-time highs by November.
Too low.
Yeah, it's like, come on, bro. And even then, I was a little conservative on mine. But where I'm getting at is that even if we don't break all-time highs in 3 months, November would only be another 6 months away from that point, right? And so, God forbid you don't hit new all-time highs by June, right? In 3 months, if we're not at new all-time highs by June, all you got to do is wait till November, right? Because it's coming. It's coming this year for sure. And even if it doesn't play out in the next 90 days.
Why do you sound so scared?
I'm not scared.
You're scared.
I'm trying to explain to the viewer here. This is very simple. The next 3 months, next 90 days, we'll probably break new all-time highs. That's my call. I think that's pretty confidently your call as well, right? Even if we swing and miss on that, it's still coming this year, is where I'm getting at. So God forbid it doesn't come in the next 90 days. Even if it doesn't, even if we're wrong, the thesis on Bitcoin is it's still going to cross all-time highs this year anyways. And so if it doesn't come in the next 90 days and it comes in 200 days, then well, pick it up now.
Don't be scared, Robin. It's okay.
Pick it up now, man. It's and what was it? What did they say? It can't hit new all-time highs before the halving?
It said impossible.
Impossible. We're only literally $17,000 away.
Well,
Let me
shame on you, Jai Hamid.
So let's take a look.
The name of the guy who wrote.
Okay. Let's take a look at this chart here. This right here is $26,000 4 months ago. Or actually, you know what? Here, let's do a little experiment. So 3 months ago would be November 19th. On November 19th, we were at $36,000. We are now up
16K.
16K. So I don't understand how you can say it's impossible
Yeah, John.
to go up 17,000 when we went up 16,000 in the last 3 months. And this is without an ETF prior to the last 3 weeks, or 4 weeks now. 3 months ago, we went up 16K in Bitcoin. 3 months ago to now, we went up 16K. New all-time high from now, 3 months from now, 17K. Like, come on, man. Stop it.
You know, let's continue on this BTC here. So open interest echoes a $69,000 Bitcoin price. So 5 things to know. I'm not going to go over that, but I want to talk about open interest on options. A lot of bids, right? Second highest coming in at 60K, right? So you have about $47 million worth of Bitcoin call options coming in at that 60K strike price mark. So this shows you the confidence of investors or traders in how Bitcoin, where Bitcoin can get to over the next 1 to 3 months. And you can sell the puts in general, right, which is the bearish side, right? Those are extremely low. If you take a look at by expiry, right, typically your end of quarter ones are going to have the highest ones. And, well, bingo, March 29th. So end of Q1 options, you have about $373 million worth of call options that are going to be coming up for expiry. And again, a majority of that is over 50K. So 50K was number one, 60K was number two. And so just the sentiment alone in every market, derivatives, options, spot market is all positive. I think the fear and greed index is at over 70. Been over 70 for quite some time. We have this from bitcoinnews.com. On average, Grayscale has been bleeding out $269 million worth of Bitcoin a day. I want you to picture this, okay? Almost more than $250 million a day of Bitcoin has been sold, and we broke below 40K once. We've been over 40. In fact, we've been gaining. We've been appreciating. Imagine when this number becomes negligible, gets cut in half, gets cut in a quarter, gets cut in a tenth. Instead of 269 million, it's 29 million. It's 30 million. How could you not be bullish on Bitcoin? Then we have this from Stock Money Lizards. This breakout confirms that we've been predicting for more than a year now. This train is unstoppable. New all-time high, either before or shortly after the halving. It's just a matter of time. So this chart is pretty much showing us what happens when Bitcoin breaks the 618 fib level. You can see here, this was back in right before 2021. We saw that massive rally to 69K. And then that is exactly where we are right now. As you can see, we've broken past that 618 fib level. So everything is pointing to a positive price action movement for BTC. Another positive potential for BTC is South Korea. Their ruling party considers lifting a ban on their spot Bitcoin ETF and investment products. So this is great. So South Korea, can you find out where they rank on GDP, Robin? I don't know if they're top 10 or not, but they're pretty big. While he's doing that, we have a piece of, well, kind of bad news, I guess. For the people in Honduras. The National Banking and Securities Commission of Honduras.
They are number 10, actually.
Number 10. Okay. So the 10th largest economy by GDP is now looking to unban Bitcoin investment products. So that's bullish. But Honduras is banning banks from dealing with Bitcoin and other crypto due to regulatory concerns. I call BS because, well, Robin, guess who was in Honduras just 2 months ago? None other than the IMF.
Oh.
IMF concludes visit to Honduras. We know the IMF, if you're not familiar, the International Monetary Fund. I have another name for them, but I don't want to get canceled. So they essentially lend money to emerging economies. So the two main funders are China and the U.S., with the U.S. being number one. And part of their prerequisites to borrowing money from them is to essentially push Bitcoin and crypto to the side. We saw El Salvador stick up the middle finger. We saw Argentina stick up the middle finger, and they've been doing just fine. Well, El Salvador for now, Argentina You know, Argentina finally, after 10 plus years, had a balanced national checkbook. 10 plus years. So
it's because of Malay, the new president.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He cut I think over 50% of federal income tax staff or whatever he did. I don't know, but in a country that's got over 100% inflation year over year, you're gonna have to make some drastic changes. It is what it is. And then we have this. This is kind of interesting. So this is America's 13th largest city, Fort Worth, Texas, has plugged miners right into City Hall. So I'm curious. You're gonna listen to this and talk about, is this something that we can see across the country in other cities as well?
The city of Fort Worth is jumping into cryptocurrency and doing it in a big way.
Yeah, they're going to mine for Bitcoin at City Hall, the first for an American city. Mayor Maddie Parker says this is a commitment to a high-tech future for the city of Fort Worth. And Fox Sports' Macy Jenkins joins us now, and you've got the pluses and the minuses and all things crypto from Fort Worth. Macy.
Absolutely. Heather and Steve learned a lot about crypto and Bitcoin today. Fort Worth, of course, getting a lot of attention after announcing that they will have 3 Bitcoin machines running in City Hall 24 hours a day for the next 6 months. Like you said, Mayor Maddie Parker says that these machines mark the city's commitment to becoming a leading hub for technology and innovation.
Okay, we are officially mining Bitcoin in the city of Fort Worth.
Yay!
Fort Worth making history today as the first city in the United States to mine Bitcoin.
I love what's happened in the last 24 hours. People are already talking about Fort Worth that have never heard of our community before.
But even though everybody's talking about
We're talking about Fort Worth. How you doing?
That's
Big shout out to Fort Worth.
That's pretty big, man. I like that. They want to see more of that, right?
They do only got 3 little miners, though. I mean, 3 A6. Come on, man. You would.
Those are rookie
City
numbers.
Hall, man. Get at least 10 of them, bro.
What movie was that? Was that Wolf of Wall Street? Or Matthew McConaughey's like, those are rookie numbers, man. You gotta pump those numbers up. Hey,
He's City Hall, man. How much taxes you collecting, man? That's like the salary for one of those desk jobs. Over
it's
there
just
at
funny.
DMV.
It's funny that the federal government of the U.S. is sitting here saying, "Oh, it's bad for they're taking energy and power away from people that need it." And Texas is the only state in the U.S.
Gam ain't gonna be able to run her AC if we keep this Bitcoin thing going.
That have their own private energy grid, right? ERCOT in Texas, and
Bino says it's a start. We're just poking fun.
With that being said, I'm gonna send it over to Robin.
Let's
Robin,
give a little love to the chat here.
Okay,
if you
great,
are new, say
great.
hello so we can drop an hola back at you. We got Afro, Kaitos, Zen Guy, Danny Boy, D Blocks, Sikrez, Crypto Greek, Big Rad, Road Glide, Antonio, Crypto Father, the Mr. Pushapa, and Vision, Crypto Nate, and to all of you, hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto. Also, VC came in at the last second to say hola.
and also a big shout out to our newest web member, BC Alf from British Columbia. It's not BCAF, Robin. It's BC. BC, if you're not in our Discord, Rocco, will you prompt Nightbot to throw Discord link in there? Join our Discord, man. Ping me, and I will drop you, and I'll add you to our whales chat. We share a lot of good alpha in there, and so yeah. All right. With that being said, Robin, let's take a look at the markets.
All right. So taking a look, we got Bitcoin at the 51,800 mark. And so kind of where we've been at since the last 7 days almost. I don't know how long we hang out here. How long before you think we get a breakout? And I know you'll probably queue you up here in a chart in a minute, but take a moment. Think about that. I'm going to take a look at the rest of the markets here. You got Arweave up 24%. Arweave crushing the game right now, up 72% on the week. If you've had exposure to Arweave, you are absolutely feeling like a genius.
That's a great deep in play, man.
Yeah, man. And then WorldCoin, you had the what's the name of their new video software? Sora, yeah. So Sora's out.
But is that linked to WorldCoin though? I don't think it is, right? I know Open Sam Altman.
It's
right?
not. It's not linked. But you know how it is. As soon as one Sora comes out, pretty revolutionary for generative AI when it comes to creating video models. I mean, we've seen what AI can do with still images. We've seen some AI generated videos, but they tend to be that morphing looking thing where somebody's head will like move around and it's kind of like a bunch of just still images just rolled together. Not very convincing, right? It's just kind of unique. But this OpenAI, who is founded by the Mr. Altman, he is the founder of WorldCoin. And so one sector pumps, looks like he's a genius. WorldCoin pumps. I'm assuming. I don't know. Maybe there's some breaking news on WorldCoin. I'll take a look at it here in a second, see if there's any news on it. Hedera up 31% on the week, 15% on the day. Hedera is rallying, is not slowing down. We got a little nugget here. If you are an H Barbarian, if you're a fan of Hedera, we just recorded one like an hour ago. So come back to Sin City Crypto later today. If you're a member, it should be up in about an hour or less than. We'll have a new Hedera video. So we're going to talk about what's new in their ecosystem and a couple things we're excited
Hedera might
about.
be gearing up for a potential 2x here.
Yeah, man.
Talk about that in the video.
So you have that. Also, Filecoin up, another one of our favorite projects here, up 14%. So a lot of green. I mean, this is just healthy. This is what happens when Bitcoin pulls up to 52,000. And unlike what Davis says, Bitcoin rallies and the alts rally with it. You know what I'm saying? And so Akash Network up 12%. So just sexy day in crypto, bro. This is what we like to see. From the number go up, guys. Number go up. Not very many numbers go down. Yeah.
Those numbers went down.
Yeah. Well, Monero, nobody cares about Monero.
I mean,
You like Monero? How many Monero tokens do you have, David?
I can't talk about it.
It's secret.
too
It's a
big of a
secret token,
position.
so you can't
Too big
talk
of a
about it.
position.
It's
Shut
not
up,
on
man.
chain. No, nobody knows. It's a secret.
Let's go to some charts here, guys.
All right.
BTC on the 1 hour. So, guys, you notice me using this on every show. I'm using the Lux Algo Premium Indicators. I do have it pinned in the comment section of the chat. If you use that link, you get 20% off. But for the whale members, you get special 40% off. 40% off. And then shout out to Redman, who won the free year premium indicators for Lux Algo. So I hope you're enjoying using those, my friend. It's some great stuff. So I got a few things going on here. On top here, we have the signals and overlays put on here, which is a premium indicator. Great thing about this one is it has 3 different candle colors, right? It has green, purple, and red. Purple signifies a choppy market. Green, of course, signifies that we are in an uptrend. It does give you some buy and sell signals, but that is not what I use this indicator for. What I use this indicator for is trend, right? Trend, and it's essentially, think of Bollinger Bands, but more dynamic, right? So here you can see these bands, right? The red and the green band are starting to tighten, which tells us volatility is decreasing, but a potential big move is on the horizon, and we are trading right at this Neo Cloud, which is essentially the equilibrium zone for BTC. You can see it's been moving sideways for quite some time. Taking a look here on the matrix oscillator, money flow is still green, but we're trending below the money flow on the hyperwave. And then last time we got pretty low, and we saw some oversold conditions on the RSI on the hour. We saw Bitcoin have a decent rally from about 51 even to over $52,451. So it could have made a lot of money there. You can still make a lot of money with BTC, although volume on the 1 hour is trending to the downside. If we zoom up to the daily on BTC, you can see a little different story here, more volatility on the daily. But when we work our way down to the lower time frames, right? This is more of, hey, what is happening right now versus the daily is more of a macro outlook. So macro on the daily, we are bumping up against the top bound of this signals cloud. And then on the hour, though, we're kind of in an equilibrium zone. And so I want to point something out, right? We take a look at RSI, markets overheated. Don't be hesitant to enter long positions or hold your BTC on a longer term time frame if conditions are extremely overbought, if conditions are overextended. that's just what it is in a bull market, right? RSI doesn't matter nearly as much on the higher time frames in the bull market. For you to be able to scalp and make money shorting Bitcoin on overextensions, you're going to want to go down to the 30-minute, 15-minute, even the 5-minute chart. And unless you're watching the charts like a hawk, it's not really going to serve you any well. And then Filecoin, I have Filecoin in the 3-day. So a key level I plotted out here for Filecoin that's been on there for quite some time is this $9.66 level. So we bumped up against this quite a few times. So back in May of 2022, we wicked briefly above and then got rejected in July of 2022. Same thing in February of 2023. We failed to reach that level back in January on the 1st of January, but it looks like we're making a cup and handle here potentially on Filecoin on the 3-day. For this pattern to play out, you're going to want to see a downtrending channel and then a break above. Now, this measured move should bring us up to this $9.66 level, but expect a lot of resistance at that level. If we do break above that, I mean, it's pretty much clear skies ahead, dude. Pretty much clear skies ahead. The next big level I'd be looking at on the 3-day is around $17.43. If we can clear this when we clear this $9.60 level. But some positive here. We did get a green dot printed on the matrix oscillator on the 3-day. If you would have entered on this dot, right, which don't recommend blindly entering trades off any signals, you would have been up over 35% by now. And so, yeah, love it. That's all I got for the chart. Now, since we're on Filecoin, right, let me talk about this here. Filecoin partners with Solana to revolutionize blockchain storage. So the TLDR here is Filecoin and Solana have partnered to enhance blockchain capabilities through decentralized storage solutions. The collaboration is driven by an integration of Filecoin's decentralized storage with Solana's blockchain, making Solana's block history more accessible and bolstering its infrastructure. The strategic alliance marks a significant step toward decentralization in the blockchain ecosystem, with positive market responses for Filecoin and a focus on long-term improvements in decentralized technologies. This is more of a big deal for Solana or for Filecoin?
I think Solana, right?
No.
Huh?
Filecoin. Solana is the second biggest layer one, right?
No. Okay. How about this? For price in the short term, sure, it's more bullish for Filecoin. But what it does is you're expanding Solana's ecosystem to a point to where it becomes more efficient, more user friendly, has more use case utility. Filecoin, a lot of data management, storage. There's a lot. That's just the tip of the iceberg, right? There's a lot that Filecoin brings to the table. And so I think it's more of a net positive for the Solana ecosystem and how it operates versus, hey, Filecoin's price is going to go up for the simple fact that they have another touch point, which is Solana. I think like who would benefit more?
Filecoin.
No, I'm saying like, would Solana be better off using Chainlink or just using a cheap Oracle? You get what I'm saying? And it's like, for Solana, if they're using Chainlink, it's very advantageous for how their ecosystem works, because it's kind of like the backbone of the Oracle system, backbone for smart contracts. And what Filecoin brings to the table is a lot of behind the scenes operations that can help Solana significantly. That's what I'm saying. Maybe it might not be the sexiest thing for Solana, but I think it's neat.
I think it's mutually beneficial for both, but I think it has more of an impact for Filecoin, right? It's like Solana doesn't look to be integrated with it. Like projects are looking to integrate with Solana, with Ethereum, with Polygon, with Avalanche. It's not the other way around. So for something like Filecoin, who provides a service like decentralized storage, it's important that they make the partnership with the layer ones versus layer ones making a partnership with them. Of course, it is mutually beneficial. It should bring more decentralization to the Solana mainnet. But at the end of the day here, obviously, we're we're picking hairs here, right? Or whatever that terminology phrase is. But I think it's bigger for Filecoin. The thing with Filecoin, though, is their tokenomics aren't the best. But with crappier tokenomics, just 2 years ago, Filecoin had a massive rally. A massive rally. This is one of the coins I saw. I believe this is the one that went from 50 cents to like $200 and some dollars. Just absolutely ridiculous. Can Filecoin see the similar numbers? Potentially. But of course, it does have more competition now, like Arweave, like even some like ICP, right? Who does everything decentralized, not even using a cloud service like Amazon Web or Google Cloud. So
I do want to give a little shout out to the chat. First of all, get the likes up. Doing pretty good, right around a little over 50% like ratio. And then also, let's get an Ola train going. So we like to wake the chat up and say, what the hell you doing? Drop an Ola. So I'm going to be the first one to put in here. So if you don't know what the hell I'm talking about, just put Ola in the chat, OLA. We'll see how many people deliver on the Ola train. And then also some new faces in here today. We got Faded Diamond, Jungle, Sugar Shane, who Sugar Shane also says, comb your hair, Rob. Well, yeah. Anyways, XRP Ally, CB Life Hacks. Also, we got SS King, and big shout out to Rusty Bot. You know, why am I saying that? Well, he like comments on all of our videos, man. Every video, Rusty Bot's there, supporting the channel. So I just want to give a big shout out to old Rusty there.
is he an actual bot though?
I don't know. He is, man. Put some WD-40 on that, Russ, bro. Grease up them bolts, bro.
You mentioned Chainlink. A lot of bullish narrative around Chainlink as well, man. I stacked up so much Chainlink between $6 and $10. It's ridiculous. Could this be why Link staking volume has increased? So a couple things here. 83 new wallets have accumulated Link in the past 2 weeks. Over 11 million Link tokens have been withdrawn from Binance. And at the time of writing, the Link exchange net flow was over 262,000 in outflows. So people are taking Link off exchanges. Now they have a vehicle to earn rewards, which is staking, right? Link staking. Then we have this. The Chainlink Trust for Grayscale has been on a freaking tear. Going from, Robin, let's listen to this, Robin. In October of last year, going from $14 to $82. This was in January 22nd, so less than a month ago, from $41 to $82. Doubling in price, getting to a high of over $91 just last week. I believe on Friday. It was on Valentine's Day. What was Valentine's Day? Tuesday, Wednesday? So a lot of institutions, they want Chainlink. They want exposure to Chainlink. We're seeing rumors swirl that we might see some Chainlink spot ETF applications come in. But I think once the ETH ETF, once that goes live, you're going to see like an influx. Solana, Avalanche, Chainlink, XRP potentially, ETF coming. So it's just opening up the floodgates to more and more of these altcoins, getting the rails for traditional investors and financial institutions to be able to invest and have exposure to the product. Rob, Chainlink currently sitting at, where's Chainlink? Number 12 at over $20. I mean, if you were picking up Chainlink at $5, you're sitting at a 4x here, man. Sitting at a 4x. It was at $5 for the longest time, $5, and then a massive explosion. I've been talking about Chainlink ad nauseum here on this channel. So, yeah. Anyways, what are your thoughts?
It traded for a while at $20 last bull market cycle as well. It's a slow mover in the meat of the bull market. So I do think the rally is probably going to consolidate here for a while. I know you're a lot more bullish than I am on Chainlink. I do think we hang around for $20. It was around the 20 to $30 price range, last bull market for quite some time. And I just think before you get a massive breakout, it probably just has to hang out here at 20 bucks for a while. That's my kind of a thought there. Is it a good pickup for the next bull market with the long-term play? Absolutely. One of my favorite projects. But I think it's a little hot right now.
Well,
I mean, I know you're.
what do you mean by hot? Like it's been running too hot? I mean, take a look at
a lot of buzz, man. A lot of buzz.
Take a look at Link Bitcoin, right? So Chainlink has been let's go to the daily here. So Chainlink, at least over the last since February 5th, right? It's been trading negatively against BTC. But we did hold the last higher high. So that is a positive. If we would have broken that and we would have taken out this level here, then yeah, it would have turned negative. But we're still positive on Link. You can even say, hey, this was a good looking reverse or inverse head and shoulders here, right? And we, of course, broke to the upside, and now we're kind of retesting that neckline on this inverse head and shoulders. But Chainlink for me, again, I've been accumulating for quite some time here. I am very bullish on Chainlink. Once it introduced CCIP, and I know this thing doesn't happen overnight, but I mean, what they're trying to do, if they can continue to onboard people, not only into their CCIP, but in all the different other verticals they have, not only Data Oracle, but their build program, the obviously staking. So a lot of things are happening. Adoption is happening on multiple verticals. You also have things that help appreciation of price, like staking. So this is big. I'm bullish on Chainlink. I think Chainlink can get to between $300 to $500 in this bull market. No, sounds crazy, but that's my base case. I want to move on to crypto and blockchain funding rose significantly in Q4 of last year. Investments in crypto-related companies totaled $1.9 billion, representing a notable increase of 2.5% from the previous quarter. This uptick in venture capital investment signifies the first rise since March of 2022, indicating renewed investor interest and confidence in the sector. One prominent trend is RWAs, such as real estate, stocks, leveraging, and transparency of the blockchain technology. And then I decided to pull up this upcoming IDOs, IEOs, and ICOs. So this is filtered by the most amount of money raised, right? So what trend are you seeing here, Robin? GameFi, 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 GameFi. So 1, 2, 3, 4 out of the top 5 most funded ICOs, IDOs, and IEOs are from the GameFi sector. So we know real world assets are big. I mean, look in here, Rob, looking at money starting to flow back in from VCs. According to this, a lot of that, at least for the short term here, is going into gaming.
Oh, yeah, man. Gaming is looking good.
You have a favorite gaming token?
Token?
Let me ask you this question. Are you more...
I would stick with Gala.
Okay, hold on. Wait, let me ask you this question. You think you can get more gains from holding the token of one game, like a Star Atlas, a Big Time, of Axie Infinity, or holding a token from an ecosystem that has games like Gala, like
just
Games for a Living,
stick with Gala,
like Vulcan Forge?
Okay, this is what I say to you: stick with Gala.
Stick with Gala.
Now, here's where I would not do that. If you're an actual gamer and you're actually playing, then you know what? It's probably a good game, right? If it's got your attention and you're playing it and you're spending hours there, well, then buy the damn token, man. You know what I mean? Like, if you're spending your time in there, obviously you believe in it enough to have caught your attention and your time. And so if it did that to you, it probably did that to thousands of other people. And, you know, if it's done right and executed and scales and marketing and catches on, then instead of it being thousands of other people, it could be millions of other people. And the thing is you're also incentivized to play, right? That's the whole reason you have Web3 is that you earn tokens from NFTs, or you earn NFTs, or You get in-game currency for fulfilling certain parts of the game or missions. And right now, obviously, all of Web3 pales in comparison to what it will be eventually. Now, will Web3 grow into this giant marketplace and ecosystem in this next bull market or in the next year and a half? I'm kind of on the fence on that. I don't know if it can mature fast enough yet, because right now Web3 gaming is in its infancy. And you know what? Shrapnel's a good example. Shrapnel just came out, right? Pretty wildly popular, aesthetically looks pretty good. But I remember, I actually remember playing this at the last convention I was at in Consensus. And or it might have been Bitcoin Miami, but I'm pretty sure it's Consensus. And so the game itself looks polished, but kind of lacks this, it lacks that grasping characteristic, right? That polarizing aspect that really pulls you in, that really exciting mechanism. You can look at any of the greatest games. You can look at the FIFA, where you get the cool bicycle kicks and the cool little cutscenes and the crowds. It all kind of transcends this idea where you're immersed and you're enjoying the game, and you get kind of lost in it. The same thing I experienced when I used to play Halo, where I played Halo and these really big open universes. And at the time, well, I mean, if you look back at Halo, it's really not that immersive. But at the time, everything was very confined into a side scroller, very, very narrow path. And then when they opened it up and had something different, it really grasped you, right? It caught your attention. 007 on the Nintendo 64, first person shooter. And so each of these games brought something that really hooked you in. And Shrapnel, for example, and the reason I'm kind of picking on Shrapnel, it's nothing against the game, was I was talking to one of my other buddies who plays Web3 games, who's a big time fan, and a couple other people, and he was saying, man, he's like, it's lacking something, right? He's like, there's it's an extraction game, which, if you don't know what extraction game, if you ever played Escape from Tarkov, very similar there. But there's just not a lot to do. And I remember that from playing it at the convention. I was just like, not a lot going on there. So a lot of room to grow for the space to mature. I'm excited to see money coming in. It's going to play out. The whole thing's going to grow up and pop off. However, I do think maybe this bull market time horizon is a little short, but I wouldn't be surprised if one of these games catch adoption and all of a sudden there's people playing, because there's some games out there that are going to be running on both
Star Island.
Yeah, there's going to be some games that are running on PlayStation, Xbox, and PC that have native NFTs that can be bought, sold, and traded and held completely by the user, and that's here. That is here now. So I don't know. I'm pretty bullish on it, bro.
Yeah, I'm not
I know my narrative there. I was kind of like on one side, I'm like, this game sucks, not too bullish. But I'm ultimately bullish, man. I just don't know when it's gonna pop off. But when it does, it's gonna be huge. It's gonna be huge. It's gonna be huge. It's gonna be one of the largest financial incentives for crypto, right? You're gonna have Bitcoin, smart contracts, and gaming. It's gonna be three massive sectors. And when will gaming pop off? I don't know just yet. It's coming.
Better early than late in the case of crypto here. I do want to give one more shout out to our channel sponsor, Cam's Blue Wire Technology. If you want to learn how they can help your business scale and grow, visit bluewiretech.com. Yeah, good show today, man. We got Magic joining us tomorrow. We have a big guest on Thursday. Charles Hoskinson will be joining us on Thursday on the live show. You do not want to miss that live show. Got a lot of good questions to ask Charles. Also, follow us on Twitter. We'll be taking submissions for the portfolio review tomorrow. So DM us your portfolio on Twitter if you want to do, or on X if you want to do it, at Sin City Crypto 1. That is our handle. That is also where we're most active. If you're watching us on Rumble, Twitch, or X, hop on over to YouTube, subscribe to the channel. That is our main place we stream. So, Robin, anything else you'd like?
Just a quick shout out. We had D-Bow Hype, Johnny G, Crypto Kabayan, Howard McDonald, as some of the new faces here. So to all of you, hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto.
Also, guys, tune in to Crypto Billy Spaces tomorrow. He's doing such a good job of these spaces. We're on there, not every week, but we're on there from time to time, and so it's always a great conversation. A big shout out to Billy and their team. I know he's partnered with Biomex, Redman, and Jimmy. They kind of do that thing together. So big shout out to you guys, and big shout out to all of you watching. And with that being said, Rocco.
What? What is that?
Zigzag tornado.
Mm.
Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. It was a pleasure to start our week with you. We hope you enjoyed the show. Come back tomorrow. Same place, same time. We love you guys. Watch out for that H-Bar video coming out in about 10 minutes with members.
I'm practicing. Cartoon. I can do it like you do.
Gonna show you how to get that big dough. So every day stay tapped in for big facts, no capping. With Bitcoin, if you're in, then you win. We divide the pie with no fraction. It's Big Rob, David. I spit the game, but they gave it. Name the coin, it's your favorite. I got dry powder, why save it? To the OGs, new beginners. Special shout out to the well members. Buy a dip, sell winners. Ain't really nothing you can tell sinners. Tune in for the latest new flavors. They gonna teach us mean coins. They polarizing like barbecue chicken pizzas. I laugh with a major grin. Laggers, we trade them in. Baddies, they came to sin. And sinners gon' play to win. Screaming, hola, till my bags are flowing over. Hold ya to the moon and to the solar. Won't I? Don't be letting FOMO control ya. It's over.